So last time game was fucking loud. I've screwed with things on my end. We'll see if that ends up better, worse. I don't know at this point. We got a couple of things. I had some thoughts. You know me. I got thoughts sometimes. So we tried those bounce rounds the last time, right? And they weren't quite what they said on the box. They don't so much bounce as they ricochet. They're similar terms, but bounce implies elasticity, and this runs for the opposite. Birdie explained it right, though. They're harder projectiles, so they tend to refract off of surfaces, and that happens about once before they lose energy and stop. So, alright, fine. We also got to try the incendiary rounds for the assault rifle, and again, those don't do what incendiary rounds do. You can't set, you know, like an animal or something on fire. With one, you can ignite extremely flammable hydrogen balloons with them. You can fuck up aeroframes of, like, World War II planes and hopefully hit a fuel tank or a line and start a fire that way. These days, incendiary projectiles are for breaching armor, not starting fires. The gist of it is that the round goes in just a little bit, and then a charge that's within it burns, and then another charge explodes. So it pokes a small hole, and then goes boom, and then... yes, it does, pups. Yes, it does. You can't be arguing with me about this early. Everything he learned about guns he learned from Apex Legends, so I don't, you know, there's really not much knowledge there. Anyway, so they're going a little bit, the armor's already compromised, and then an explosion kind of fucks it up further. That's largely how incendiary rounds work these days. I mean, I guess that might point to the acrid themselves being just extremely flammable, you know, kind of like a three-legged walking bits of tinder. But that begs the question of how they live, given that in their bodies is this substance known as thermal energy. You know, what if they overexert themselves, do they just burst into flames and die? I'm not super certain, and I don't think anyone at Capcom is either. I'm undoubtedly reading into this further than anyone was meant to. And while we're at it, we also remember that we had those depleted uranium rounds available for our 30-06 hunting rifle. I mean, to be the bearer of bad news for a second, that's not really going to do anything for that kind of bullet. It doesn't do anything for 50 caliber projectiles, so I'm not entirely sure why it is that they decided to throw this in there, other than it sounded kind of like a military thing. About the smallest that I'm aware of that utilizes like a depleted uranium core is like 20 millimeter, but that's also not common. 30 is a little bit more. And a 30 millimeter fucking autocannon flings a bullet that's 425 grams. It's got a muzzle velocity of 3,300 feet per second, thereabouts. 10 meters for metric folks. And for comparison, the fucking... Yeah, let me run my conversion here real quick. It's 106. This is what you came here for, right? Math on stream. That's what you crave. There we are. So by comparison, like a 50 caliber bullet is like 45 grams. So already we're at literally 10 times the mass, moving at about the same speed. So the 50 caliber then generates like 18,000-ish joules. The 30 millimeter generates 218,000-ish joules, thereabouts. This bears mentioning before we get into how depleted uranium works. The 30mm that I'm talking about cannot be depended on to penetrate armor that it would normally be shooting at, like the stuff that plates tanks. It's called Chobham. I might be mispronouncing it, but it also has depleted uranium as part of the layering in it. Anyway, it's no longer generally expected to penetrate rear, side, or top armor of modern tanks. Like it just kind of don't. You might get a wild one getting through, but don't count on it. Anyway, so here's how depleted uranium works. The alloys used for depleted uranium rounds, because using a pure metal is just not really something that's done, you always alloy it. It's about 1.7-ish, 1.6 and change times as dense as lead. And it does have some interesting properties that would have been good for penetrating armor of the time that it was used. Chiefly, depleted uranium rounds are self-sharpening. Usually when a bullet hits armor, it blunts or fractures, and this keeps it from digging in real deep. But for depleted uranium, on impact, they always break in a way that it remains sharp. And because of the energy involved in it sticking in and sailing through the material that it does, it self-ignites. So it sails in, bursts into flames, ignites ammunition and fuel, eats oxygen for the crew inside, and, you know, whatever it is you're stuck in. If you're being hit with depleted uranium rounds, and may in some cases, if it's really hit the fuel tanks and all of the ammunition and crap that you've got lying around, could cause the vehicle to explode, just from overpressure of all that shit going off at once in a place that it ought not. This isn't something that you can achieve with a 30-06 bullet. Let me grab my reference sheet here. And we can get an actual mass for the bullet itself. We'll find it. I got all kinds of other fucking measurements. I don't have the mass. I'm stupid as hell. Oh no, there we go. So like at heaviest, it's 14 grams. It's 4,000 some odd joules of energy. No, not even close. Not even close. So about the only thing this would do is potentially expose Jim to a lightly radioactive heavy metal. And heavy metal in your blood is not good. You don't want that there. Oh, and Jim smugly talking to us about fluoropolymers like they were some incredible new thing that we couldn't possibly understand is fucking nuts to me, because guess what? Teflon is a fluoropolymer, and that's old as shit. Alright, I'll get to the game now, I swear. I swear. I swear. There is a game. It'll get here. Jim is coming. We just have to wait for Capcom to cooperate with us. We should get noise shortly. Which'll mean that we can get picture. Things is happening. Logos are being displayed. NVIDIA, it's the way it's meant to be played. Alright. There we go. We have control back. And we'll see if the audio is better, worse, really no different. The latest autosave, please.
Very good, class. Now
okay.
Open our textbooks to page 42.
We can hear school being taught very, very clearly. We're pressing E to climb down. Jim, is this place hard for you to load? Or is it just the shifting yeah, we still have objects popping in. Again, no real reason for it. It's just that it is a PC port. Sick animation. They didn't actually trust me to do any platforming here, so I just kind of follow the prompts and things happen. Why the pan around? And we see they're harvesting thermal energy that abruptly takes on a different texture once it's loaded.
What do you get?
I'm almost done.
She's almost done.
See it short.
I'm not arguing that it's short. It's a question of... Wait, that can't be right.
See?
That's off by more than 100 megajoules.
Well, whatever's going on, their power supply is pretty severely fucked. Off by more than 100 megajoules is not a small amount of juice. It almost looks like a geothermal pump, doesn't it? I think that's a mistake of design, making thermal energy in these tanks and stuff indistinguishable from lava. Also, geothermal would be a really good way to fucking power these more permanent installations while you fuck around for other energy sources. I'm not entirely sure why it is we're after this thermal energy stuff and not like deuterium or something. Hydrogen is super fucking abundant. You'd think that if we got here, we'd probably have hydrogen reactors set and ready, and you can harvest that from fucking anywhere in the universe. Okay. What a sneaky man Jim is. These camera cuts in this, it just fucking... Okay.
So, by our best estimates,
We double-checked. These are verified numbers.
we'll have to arrange the next run sometime next week to be safe.
This is strange indeed. Where does the vector begin? Show me what you found.
I was just charting that.
Cool. Alright, relax. They got helmets and face protection, Jim.
Set it before me! Epic. It is a dark day. The ghost of our greatest foe returns to haunt us. A thief in our midst, here to steal our lifeblood.
That's making a lot of assumptions.
Should not have come. Did you think we would forget?
Stop! Stop, Father, please!
Mira, what do you know of this thief?
Forgive me, Father. It wasn't him. It was me. I had to heal him. I've been watching him. He is a good man, Father. He will not allow harm to come to us. I ask only that you trust me.
Mira pleads for you. She is young. She is not a fool. Precious is the cost our people paid to save you. You will pay us back.
I convinced him not to kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He was part of the original colony?
My father and all of the elders. Abandoned here by Nevik. 40 years of unimaginably brutal winters have magnified his hatred.
Come back with me. We can help get all of you off this planet.
In time, he may be convinced. Meanwhile, you have a debt to repay.
No problem. My rig's got a tank full of T-energy.
That won't do. What you collect is far too dirty to replace what I took to mend you. But there is another way you can repay your debt. It will require your construction rig.
Just point me in the right direction.
Okay, and once again, we are shackled by our debt. The killing fields. We also may have met Grandfather of Wayne.
At least they didn't kick me out of the camp with just my pistol. Let's see what this thing can do.
Okay. Well, we've been given a crossbow. Anyway, it would seem like a stretch to assume that the first 2 Asian people we see that are important to the plot are somehow related to Wayne. But we also don't see any others. It's also oh, what the fuck? Alright. It's also apparently like a leading fan theory. It makes a kind of sense. They say that personality-wise they're very similar to Wayne, but I don't remember Wayne being much like either of these two. They are, at the very least, plot central, and, you know, here. Also, what kind of society you got going here that you can just order an execution without asking any questions? They're spitting the name Nevik like, these guys are Space Hitler. But also, they were Nevik employees, so wouldn't your assumption be that, you know, you're some rando schmuck that doesn't know what the fuck's going on? Because that was them, right? Okay, down. Okay, then I touch this.
And the power's out. The generator can't be far.
It never is it? I don't know why they took my firearms and gave me this. It's still dangerous. I think it's just because the game kind of knew that there was no fucking way that I would bother with it if I was already set in my ways. So they went, you have to. We think this is very cool. Bomb crossbows are not cool. At least not in any way that isn't just like, you know, a fun diversion. There's no universe in which they are better or even comparable to a firearm of equal weight.
Looks like we're good here.
Because, like, so those somehow ignite and have some kind of explosive charge on them. You would need to carry a bunch of them. It flings 3 at a time. So, I mean, like, the quiver that I had for archery when I was fucking around with that would hold maybe 30 arrows comfortably. And they're carbon shafted arrows, you know, they're relatively light, but still 30 takes up a whole lot of space. It sat very, very wide on my hip. This would mean that I'd be able to fire this 10 times. So 1, 2. Why does it explode on me when it's way the hell out there? 3. We're going to kill ourselves. That's a very strange bug. You get the idea. This would not last terribly long. It'd be a pain to reload. You'd have to carry a bunch of bulky ammunition. The bomb charge can't be light. The range would be extremely limited because of the awkward projectile. This is shit that you get up to in, like, the mountains. When you have nothing else to do and you do have tannerite. It is some bored Bubba shit. And again, not that I'm opposed to that. That's fine. That's a perfectly good way to spend an afternoon. If that is how you choose to occupy your time. Inferno bolts is what it's called. Okay. But, like, as a serious for realsies weapon, nah, probably not. I haven't scanned a dongo yet, and I do still want to learn stuff. He crushed his friend. and maybe knocked himself out a little bit? Wish this DNA sniffer scanned faster. Okay, we got there. I just ran over that time, huh? Boy, you gotta reload it every time, don't you? Okay. Did I get him? I hate the Inferno bolts. Come on. Anyway, you still liking these tinkly strings? The bugs, man. They're crawling places. So you can kill them with melee. Good to know. Even though these aren't crawl on you bugs, these are very large bugs. Come on, do the thing. He did the thing eventually. Oh, for fuck's sake, that's right. It's still doing it. Yep, pluck him, I guess.
You are a sight for sore eyes.
Gertie?
Let's get you back on your feet.
What's stopping me from just fucking off? No, they gave me none grenades. Okay. Oh, we got it. Okay. Excellent. The moment that I can, this thing's going right in the fucking bin. Okay, so... V? Yeah, V.
Alright, that'll be enough to get you walking. Let's give it a go.
We don't even get to see it stand up. Excellent. Okay. Well, I want that. That's also fine. I believe we're good. Yep, stuff still works. Oh, hey. Again, just did not. We had a new option there. Z. Oh. Well. That's a fun option. You can just kind of fling them into forever.
Testing 1, 2, 3, radio check. Cronus, it's Jim. You read me? Jim Payton here, back from the dead. You copy? Yeah, must be out of range.
Jim, you got your rig working.
Oh, hi. You, have a radio?
Of course I do.
Yeah, she'll pull through fine.
Good. You will need it for this task. There is a health crisis among my people. We have had a breakout of Watling's disease in the camp. Even our healing techniques are ineffective against it.
I remember getting vaccinated for that before I left Earth. They've had that cured for years.
Only if you have access to such medicine. We did find a misplaced medical supply drop in Pickett's Folly, but it is inaccessible to us. If you could unseal that pod, it would truly save lives. You will need your rig's winch to access the area.
What makes you so sure I'll even help you?
I have watched. I have listened. Jim Payton is a man who pays a life debt. You saved your comrade, the Frenchman, the day you arrived.
Maybe not my finest decision.
Beyond that, we have what you need. Your people seek to harness this planet's energy as we have done. I hope that we can help you in due time, but first there is much that must be healed. Prove your virtue today to my father, and that may be a start.
Why would I do that? I mean, like, this planet is basically corporate property. It doesn't... The bugs don't fucking recognize it. I don't really... I guess the Elder's kids would have some kind of claim, because they were born here. God damn it, the Jim Jams are still offline. But the ones that were literally on the payroll, not so much, man. I don't buy it. We were stuck on nothing again.
A lake of T energy?
Well,
No, that's lava.
yeah, there we go.
Lava. Yeah, that makes sense.
You see, Jim, it's really a shame that they decided to make them basically indistinguishable visually. Doesn't make much sense. Anyway, we're back in Lava Place. We were here as Wayne. Or at least a spot very similar. It'd be weird if it was the exact same spot, right? Yeah, that's where we're going. Am I still being shot at from somewhere? Yeah, I guess I am. From where? Soundtrack's also taken a turn, hasn't it? I don't know who this says lava to, but, you know, I've heard worse. Yeah, give me this one. Bang. There we go. Wait, let me see this again. What the fuck is going on with that bolt? You just letting it slide forward? Yeah, we just kind of let that slide back forward. Okay then, Jim. Also, is my Enviro suit here rated for this? What about the fucking noxious fumes that we're breathing in right now? There's all kinds of real nasty gases that get given off when, you know, you make rocks real hot. I think that's everything. A bit. Nice. I hear something, but I don't know if it's part of the soundtrack or not. Well, we're just gonna not worry about it for the time being. We're gonna do this instead. I really hate that he does all of this with his, like, one arm and shoulder and stuff. You gotta hook yourself up via the torso. Anyway, it's crabs again, but it's different crabs this time. It's pretty much crabs all the way down. Now it comes in twos, does it? Nope, okay. Is my timing just kind of fucked, or are we just having a Capcom moment again? Yeah, it looks like the timing was just a little bit fucked. Gross. Is that supposed to be an acid or a glue? Oh, and I've stepped in lava. That presents an issue, doesn't it? Well, he's fucked off. Undoubtedly to be back from a different angle. Yeah, there he is. I know, you came back. I see. I'm aware. Oh, there's, it leaves hurt puddles on the ground. Missed that one. It's gotta come off soon, right? Like one would think. Twofer that time. Sometimes it's a twofer, sometimes it happens once. No indication on which it's gonna be. There we go. Well, now he's just gonna push me over. Okay. I see. I'm just supposed to duck him like a dongo then. Oh, you know what? Before this is over, hang on here. I can. Well, that would have been a shame to miss it, huh? Almost. We did it. Tangent. Did they mean tangent and they fucked it up, or is it just tangent? Tangent. It's got two A's. Tangent. Okay. Well. Apparently what it definitely means is, I know that you press... Yeah, I know. That you press the space bar. I just don't like that you pressed it. Every other time I'll play the can thing and I'll let you dodge, but...
Damn time.
Oh, it wasn't that tough, Jim. Well, that one looks to be inaccessible now. Cannot get close enough. There's a barrier preventing us from getting there.
That must be the medicine.
Yeah.
Hope it's still good.
I mean, with the heat here, I don't think it is. You're not typically supposed to boil your fucking medicines. Sure.
Looks like we're good here.
Would seem so. Okay. Sure. You're not gonna do it, are you? You're just gonna like flop down there. Yeah. And then Jim died. Okay. Alright. It's a weird angle. Weird animation to play. Do I get my gems back yet? No. This fucking bullshit. Alright, well, we haven't been able to pick up any side things yet because these people don't like us. Mira's dad wanted to have us executed. That lava pillar is solid. Like, it's dense for a liquid, but, I mean... Are we sure about that one? We can still scoop it. And a lot of the rig walking. There we go. Back to the killing fields. Still no jams. I'm not sure why they're called the killing fields. There doesn't seem to be evidence of like a great and terrible war. It's also not fields. This is caverns. Hey, how's it going? The betrayal. It doesn't let me. She's too powerful.
You did it! We will get this to our doctors right away. In the meantime, my father wishes to see you. Follow me.
Mirror when you move all the things that are supposed to be connected on your suit that come apart. So, is this ornamental or what? Okay. It just seems odd that they paid attention to that for like Jim's stuff and not hers.
Make eye contact.
Yeah, don't make eye contact.
So this is why you were following me?
I can reduce your fertility with a gaze.
Rig could run?
I watched you because I learned from what I see. I saved you so that you would not die.
Oh, well, yeah, that's...
You've got the saying nothing thing down pat, you know that? Listen, princess. Wait, are you really a princess? Is your father the king?
We have no kings. He leads only in that he leads.
Down pat.
I mean, it is he who led the Forgotten to safety, taught us to survive. He calmed the Great Frenzy and learned how to harvest this planet's nectar without causing another.
Yeah, again with the nectar. That's a ridiculous word, by the way.
It is apt. I'm sorry if it troubles you.
Now I'll get over it. The Forgotten is nice, though. Whoa, what's up?
A breach. Were you followed?
Followed by who?
Perimeter breach! We need assistance!
Okay.
This way.
No, I don't want to go that way. I want to help with the breach. They got energy weapons here. Also, I think that's a door mirror before we got close.
I will provide support from the parapets. Go!
Okay. Well, I can't until it... Alright, there we go. It may have showed me the asset name through the rocks there for a moment. Oh. Well, that's new. Look at his little mouth. You don't make sense as a creature. I'm gonna go over there and tell him that. You don't make sense. Excuse me. Excuse me? What are you? Yeah, hang on. Yeah, but hang on. But for real. Man, we're just gonna have to souls roll away. Alright. The Searags. Sure. He's squaring up. Break those on you? Is that something that you're going to allow me to do? In fact, it seems to be the strategy, doesn't it? Okay, well, we'll switch to something more appropriate for doing so. Jim, good dodge after it hit. Very dramatic. Does this actually mean less of these fucking things? It doesn't seem to. It seems to be a way that you could damage them, the big creature. But it, yeah, well, maybe one of those is, or rather, some of those groups are smaller now. It's very hard to tell. Like, look at its enormous fucking head. Like, what is this? What have you done? And why have you done it? There we are. Jim, stuff him in faster, man. Okay? Come on. I guess it does. So it looks like it's never going to be none, but we can really reduce this. I'm not sure if I've just got him. I don't know. Are you just done, or is this phase 2? Looks like phase 2. Now we're done. Okay, well, we've done it. we beat up a thing that should not be.
Unusual behavior for that species. They're normally only aggressive when attacked.
It's because they're unhappy y'all took Jim in. They saw it happen and were like, that guy? Are you sure? He's not funny. There's something red behind you. Okay. Never mind.
Come, Jim. My father awaits.
Why do you people speak like this? It's only been a little while since you were Nevik employees.
A man of honor. And a Nevik uniform.
Fuck you, you used to work for the same company.
Paradox.
You hate them like you know them well. You were Nevik too once.
Long ago, I was. We came here from Earth, as you did. Come to tame the wilds, rendering fire from ice. We were unprepared.
You gotten weird over the years, man.
I don't claim to know what you've been through, but I know the odds you're up against. You're not wrong that we're here for a reason. But it's not to bring you harm, I swear. Let me help.
Thank you, Pi.
Talk to my boss, Braddock.
Silence! So it comes to this. A hand extends. They beckon. Come in from the cold.
I mean, yeah, that seems a sane solution, right?
Waited. When they fled to ships and flew away, I was certain they would return. If we could just last a week, surely they would come back for us. Persevere for a month. No doubt our rescue would follow. If only we could survive. A year. Or 5. Or 10. Or 36!
I mean, alright, but, I mean...
Generations. We survived without their compassion.
You so go back to Earth and sue them. They're not gonna care unless you hit them in the wallet.
And finally, you would lead them to our door. Assurances of safety.
Well, why not?
Trust. A scorpion. A man such as you had better know the nature of the beast you serve.
What, an energy corporation? I mean, yeah, they're shady, but fucking... At this point, there's too many witnesses to just cross off.
Do not be discouraged, Jim. It is much to ask of him, and we have only just begun our work. Please, enjoy the hospitality of our camp, such as it is. You may find some things you need, and it is good for our people to see you are a friend. When you are ready, meet me outside the camp gates.
Okay, I still want to know why you speak like that, given that, you know, all the elders are just ex-Nevik employees. Text log. W. Gabriel. Nevik's interstellar ambition. With Earth under the thrall of unregulated behemoths like Nevik, of course space was the next frontier. Certainly no government had the resources to mount expeditions of any significance. Once the Earth started to look used up, who could complain if the megacorporations took the lead in finding the energy sources of the future? Of course, they made out just fine in the bargain. That is what businesses do, and I'm no fan of unregulated capitalism myself. But, like... Yes... And... then what? Is the belief that it would be better if the government had done this, or... like, what's the thought? This guy... Come on, man. You gotta get up and go home. He won't. He lives under the desk now. I like that for their thermal visors here, it looks like they keep their eyeballs warm. Like everywhere on Jim's suit, we see that orange, that's a heater. So they have them over their eyes. You gotta keep those eyeballs toasty. Seeing is secondary to that. We've been told to enjoy the hospitality of this place, but I don't see any hospitality to enjoy. There's also... Oh, hello?
Pleased to meet you. I'm Francesca Vittordi. I manage the school. Do you have children?
I do. Baby boy back home.
Then I will not need to explain to you. The children are our animating force, our hope, our reason to persevere. We try to cultivate each one, show them our ways, teach them our skills. Not just to count and to read, but to survive in this place of all places. I hope you are able to get back to your family soon, Jim.
Thanks. We could probably get him off this rock, you know, like get him vaccinated and shit. They were saying that they had some kind of disease going through the camp they didn't have vaccines for. Are they vaccinated against, like, fucking chickenpox? Is that gonna be a problem?
That's a hell of a machine you drive, mister. I love to talk shop sometime. My name's Kraft, chief mechanic. Mostly I keep all the skiffs running. Your pal Mira practically keeps me in business. All the wear and tear she puts on them running off to wherever. It's not like they grow on trees. And even if they did, I mean, you see any trees?
Okay. I mean, now that you mention it, there does not seem to be any flora on EDN 3.
Soichi is the only reason we were able to survive in the waste for 40 years. His guidance, his presence of mind, his discovery of the purity energy. Without him, we would be nothing.
He's old. His ideas are old. I don't deny we owe our existence to him, but his time has passed. It's time for new leadership.
Who would you suggest?
Mira.
Don't be ridiculous. Mira is a child.
These accents.
Beyond her years.
This is why the Snowborn are not part of the Elder Council.
Oh, wisdom is wasted on the old. Just ask him.
What?
Yeah, we're on the same page again. What? The fuck is he talking about? What are any of them talking about? I understand that they've got some kind of, like, leadership dilemma that they're trying to solve, but, you know. Up, down, left, right. Okay, it's the arrow keys. It's the arrow keys. Sure. There's apparently shops, so we got a fair amount of stuff. We can probably go and see what the locals have for sale. Is this the right direction? Yes, kind of. Yes, kind of. Okay. So it's that way. Oh, they're keeping them here. I think that one charged the fence after I moved away from it. Open. Are we okay? That's necessary then, is it? You can't just leave it open? Maybe it's got trouble with maintaining these larger spaces.
How are you?
So it's got to call one, load the other.
Everything you see here was scavenged from one abandoned colony installation or another and refashioned for our use. Didn't happen overnight either. I've run the metal workshop for nearly 30 years. You can't throw a stone without hitting some piece of my handiwork. Don't, though. Throw stones in here, I mean. That would be obnoxious.
Comedy. This is not the shop, though. Hello, shop. There's plenty of places to eat and drink. Okay, so there's one and then there's the other over there. Sure, fine. So up here should be something. Should be a shop, a kiosk, a vendor. through these curtains. Hello?
Are you the one we've heard about? Our new champion patrolling the plains in some giant robot?
I don't know where to begin correcting you, but I'm Jim.
But it's true, you're a man known to take a quest in search of your fortune?
I'm a freelance contractor. So, yeah, I guess I am.
Excellent. I'm conducting an ethological study of the albino Tarka of EDN-3.
Ethological?
As rare and elusive a creature as walks this world.
Ethological.
I'm pretty sure I've never seen anything like that.
Exactly. That's how you know they're real. That and the telltale sound of their mating call. I've isolated the exact frequency. When played back, it will mesmerize them long enough to collect a DNA sample. The trick is finding them, for they blend seamlessly into their surroundings, and you will hear them long before you see them. If you provide me with their DNA samples, I will share teachings that will enhance your abilities.
Okay, so there we go. Find boys, get upgrades. There we go. Now we know.
I'll add the mating call frequency to the sound output of your wrist computer, which it will constantly broadcast. Oh, don't worry. Humans can't hear it.
Oh, like a dog whistle.
Sure. What's a dog? The albino Tarka are scattered across the whole planet, so if you keep your ears open, you're bound to run into one. Happy hunting.
Okay. There we go. Now we have that. We'll see if we find any. Also, they didn't teach them what dogs were? Like, there's a school that's running. They didn't teach them about dogs, because they might one day go back to Earth. So these kids are gonna fucking show up and, like, try to cut Fido open to see if he's got thermal energy inside.
Quartermaster. Long time since I had that title. If it's supplies you need, I can sell you some. That dirty tea energy doesn't work too much to us, but I can find uses for it.
We're just finding shops, man.
Since you've already helped by opening that base, I'll make it a generous exchange rate.
Okay. So we now have access to a few things. Allows for a manual preload of up to 3 clips. No, that's alright. Grenade launcher range finder. Scrolling down a bit. An extra grenade belt slot. Another extra ammo pack. And then they somehow have Kenny's shit. This is the rivet gun. This is the grenade launcher. Yeah, once again, let's be bad. Because I'm fairly certain that we can pick this up later. I think that can get found.
Munitions locker.
Thanks. Pi, listen, I know that you're nervous about, you know, an explosive kind of weapon in a game like this, where the the quarters are close and everything, but why the hell not? You know? What else are we doing that's of any kind of interest? Does that do more or less damage than this? Okay, so it's just kind of better all around. Got it. That's a lot of apparatus for a very short barrel. Okay. Well, I'm sure we'll find ways to hurt ourselves with this.
Word has it you're a master acrid fighter. We should trade tales of battle. I'm Sazatska, First Ranger of the Forgotten. I lead the hunting parties. We employ techniques, non-lethal and otherwise. And you well know what creativity is required to prevail. You've seen some variety of acrid, I'm sure, but I believe we've but seen a fraction of what walks this world. Beyond the horizon, who knows what wonders and horrors we might find.
I mean, yeah, but I'll never find out in this game. Or in any of the Lost Planet games, for that matter. They are light on exploration. This is apparently where I'm going. It is where I'm going, though. It is. Mira's got things to say.
In order to repay your life debt, one task remains. There is another installation from the first colony, closed to us, but your machine may breach it. There are resources there we can use, supplies and weapons.
Whoa, weapons? It's a little intense for a first date, don't you think?
Jim, you're married.
Harm one's enemy. My father does not believe you will help us. This will convince him you mean no harm.
I'll be back before supper.
I mean, you can arm them, you just give them substandard things. With stuff that can't defeat your own protectives, for example. Whatever, these people are extremely trusting and also weirdly suspicious all at the same time. I don't quite track the Forgotten and what it is that they actually want. You know, it's... They are very, very, very strange. I can't quite reach that. It looks like we'll have to get some kind of upgrade for the winch. They're talking about how, oh, well, we can teach you to live here. Great, that'll be excellent for expeditions. We still are here to, you know, secure an energy source, though. And don't these people want to go home like a whole lot of the elders? Shouldn't they be going like, oh my god, I never thought I'd have a chance to see my family again? Or even just to be like, I hate this place. It sucked living here. Like, I've gotten used to it, but I long for the comforts of home, and I'm willing to take any kind of paycheck that Nevik is offering to just keep my mouth shut. I can be paid to go away. I don't get the angle that they're working. Alright, in we go. I'm just doing this for lack of anything else to do while I walk over there. The rig doesn't travel particularly fast, does it? I mean, it's time to look at things, which is nice. Oh, hang on. I haven't scanned these either. I've absolutely got to. Yeah. They got a weird hitbox for this, huh? You kind of have to focus on their upper body because it'll count the lower body as a miss. Anyway. Oh, this sucks. Well, good thing we have our rig right here. Yeah, just the worst. And then I managed to blow myself up. Somehow. Not sure. I think it's the same bug that was present with the explosive crossbow there, where if the explosion doesn't go off on something else, it assumes that it's like it's on you, which is a really, really weird way to go about it. Anyway, we'll do this, because that seems to actually work the best. Yeah. Even though I generally don't like burst fire things, it's a flawed concept. The idea is that it would fire fast enough to where you're not feeling the full recoil before it's done with its firing cycle, but you're still feeling some recoil, which means that you're getting nudged 3 separate times with increasing intensity, because it kind of stacks as it moves back on its fucking axis. It means that you're not actually going to hit a single fucking thing. You may get the first round on target. Past that, nope, go fuck yourself. So we have to scan this again. There we are. And now we can just do away with them. We've learned all we can. The time for understanding is over. The time for violence is now. The time for large robot violence is always. Anyway, while we're out here doing basically nothing and there's not much plot happening, is having a sort of spin-off or a continuation, parallel discussion, maybe about common character classes and what it is they might mean in any kind of earnestness. Like, we're all aware of the rogue. Typically, you can say that to someone who plays games and they'll be able to conjure an image of some sort in their head. But I, predictably, was never quite happy with that designation for anything, really, because what it is that is implied by... Ooh, a text lock. Well, we'll get to this, then we'll continue. B. Farragut. Reflections on failure. It should have worked. Greenwood and I were going to hold the rope. Kaczarski was going to fire the crossbow. He was going to fire it. It wasn't going to be Winkler. He was going to, you know, tie all the knots. You know, he used to race sailboats. That's Winkler. That's who he was. Anyway, someone slipped up. I don't even know who. I just remember seeing Kaczarski and his crossbow catch on fire a second before they both hit the lava, and now we're all going to die here. I mean, yeah, that... You're gonna attach something via crossbow? To get where? That's never going to embed deep enough to support any kind of weight. I don't know what you're thinking. Anyway, on rogues. It also ties into part of the stuff that I was talking about before, the notion of like leather armor being basically a leather coat or a cloak or something similar. It's fucking goofy. Anyway, it's considered a good idea to be highly dexterous, and I'd ask what kind of dexterity, and do they mean poise? Do they mean manual dexterity? Do they just mean in control of your limbs? Because there's not a lot of flourishing or acrobatics that any of us are going to want to do in a fight. But, you know, highwaymen also had to be physically powerful and imposing in order to get you to stand and deliver. Or, you know, otherwise garrote you and drag you into the bushes. You gotta haul the whole body up on your shoulder when you're doing that, so it just doesn't really make sense that any kind of compromise to raw physical power would be made. Or in fact, the ability to fight head-on. Because what if your mark decides that...
door on this planet either locked or out of power?
It's because we're in a video game, Jim. Come on now. Because what if your mark decides that actually they don't like your face and they're pretty sure they could take you? Well, now you're just in an actual fight.
Welcome to Security Station C. Non-personnel are required to sign in at the Operations Center on floor 4.
Well, you know, we're gonna try to sign in then. Hello? They don't even have a guest book. It's another spook section, by the way, with the flickering lights.
Damn it!
And the steam. And, we got turrets again. Look out. Anyway, and, you know, this also doesn't begin to describe what the actual skill set of this individual would be. They are a rogue what? Now that one's blue. Well, I want to scan that. Ow. Dickhead. I just want to learn your ways. I want to know what makes you different from the other ones. Show me. Okay. I have learned. We're done learning. We can get to the shooting. And I can resume talking about rogues. They are a rogue what exactly? What are they supposedly doing? Like, what is their profession? What the fuck, basically? It's a common issue I have. Jim, calm down now. He's saying that these ward eyes need to eat it.
And it's sealed. Where's the override?
Anyway, a lot of these classes don't describe a person or a skill set. They describe a vague fantasy trope. You know, they say that rogues can pick locks. Well, no, a fucking locksmith would also be able to pick locks. They can't always just make a key or have a key that's previously made. So you're probably also going to need to be able to fiddle the lock open, and that's a completely legitimate business. You're not a rogue of anything, not of the law, not of your profession. It's expected of you. In fact, they probably called you to do exactly this. A rogue can stab people in the back. Well, anyone can stab anyone in the back, and it helps to be unassuming and not some sort of, like, fucking cape-billowing dickweed Dracula wannabe. If you're hired to kill someone, then you are, depending on who wants to do the talking, an assassin or a hitman. That's your job, and your skill set, of course, is not just murder. You're going to have to know how to do other shit in order to be good at this job. So it's like you can apply the same thing to a fighter or a paladin. You know, why is it that only this specific kind of trained knight has faith enough to invoke favors from their god? Also, am I supposed to be doing something here while I'm just yammering on to you lost things? I don't know. We'll find out. We'll make our way towards what Jim says is the override. Anyway, it's so these vague fantasy tropes are not something that I'm a fan of, and it's why it is that I would encourage a lot of developers to sort of take the Souls route, where the class that you start with is just that, a starting point. I think there should also be an option to remove all of that altogether, not necessarily in the way that the Deprived does, but as a kind of like, well, here's the beginning pool of shit. Build your own. Okay, we've touched this.
Down, overridden.
There we go.
Let's see what that did.
Well, we'll also see if they just kind of keep coming. Because these labels are always reductive, and when you use reductive language, you leave out a lot of important nuance. You know, for example, like I was saying, why is it that it's only this knight that has faith enough? Are you telling me that no other kind of fighter would possibly be able to be as religious? Killing in the name of a deity is killing in the name of a deity, and if the deity appreciates it, would you not then be capable of invoking things just the same way? And of course, you know, this also runs into problems with like the class identity crowd, but I don't care. Their opinions are not important to me. They're already coming at things from an angle that I find ridiculous. It's the same sort of thinking as like a caste system. Like you can never possibly be anything else. No, you are what it says on the label. your wants, your desires, the needs of the situation that you have been born or presented with. Those all don't matter. We already read the label. It's been decided. You can't deviate from the path, otherwise I'm gonna get mad. And that being said, character progression should be handled a similar way. Being able to only pick from X, Y, and Z as your character is effectively out there in the wild on their own, not under any supervision, is fucking nuts to me. Why is it that I must take skills from this tree in order to like, you know, finish my level up homework? What if I've decided that my dude wants to learn something else? Say I have a fighter, and they're good at whacking things, but they've recently taken an interest in...
This thing doesn't drop into water.
Okay. Hope we don't drop into water. In researching the arcane, why can't I start, you know, looking into, like, just research skills if I fucking care to? Perhaps develop a method to detect arcane crap without just being magic, because, I mean, it's got to be some sort of energy, right? It's measurable. It's present. It affects the world with phenomena. Fucking only somewhat related. This is tangential. I touched briefly on the reticence of people to put their spellcasters in armor because it disrupts the flow and blah 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 blah. If you're going to tell me that this disrupts the flow,
Floor elevator online.
You have now opened some real nasty floodgates that you probably didn't want to if someone like me is present, because now I want to know everything about how it is that your magic works. If there's a flow and it can be interrupted with material interference, then what is it? What force does this happen to be? And if you're not prepared to answer those questions, which typically fantasy settings and games aren't, then you probably should have kept your fucking mouth shut to begin with, shouldn't you? You shouldn't have attempted to impose rules like this with justifications like that. And if you can't justify a rule, well then, you might want to consider getting rid of it. Arbitration is never the favorable method of definition. Like, it just because is something that 5-year-olds do. And it's perfectly fine, even in a setting that you've homebrewed, to say, I don't know. Nobody knows. But, you know, like I said, you introduce certainties like that, well then someone knows something, and there must be other rules to discover. Perhaps ways to disable magic entirely within a given population or within an encounter. And wouldn't that be something that you don't want me doing? Anyway, we're doing something here. I think we're trying to open this facility, but, like, we opened it. I'm not sure why we're continuing beyond this. I guess Jim just doesn't really have anything else going on. It's open. They can come on in here and get weapons and all that kind of shit, if they want. I suppose then we wouldn't have these text logs, though. We spent time on this, but not on the actual presentation that we opened the game with. I don't know why. Anyway, W. Gabriel. Nevik equals untouchable? Hang on. What the fuck was that? There we go. With Earth under the thrall of unregulated... Oh, no, that's the first one. There we go. Whose word do we even have that the energy crisis is as bad as it is? Nevik scientists, pundits, and politicians on the Nevik payroll. And as the prices shoot up, Nevik gets richer. Nevik scours the galaxy for new sources, and with each discovery, the prices go up, and Nevik gets richer. As long as energy's scarce, they're untouchable, essential to every human's daily life. Hey, man, there, like, it kind of scrolled on its own there, didn't it? And how do we really... Something. It says page up, page down to scroll, but those... okay, it kind of does and kind of doesn't. There we go. How do we really know the whole thing's not based on a lie? I mean, that would be... extremely... fucking, like, convoluted, wouldn't it? And that's... a lot of work to just make money. Like, you're already a huge part of the economy. How much more money do you imagine you'd make? Money's not...
The armory's open. That
just
should be enough for them.
Going to magically flow in from all angles. Someone's got to spend it. So if they're tapped and you've already got free access to their wallet, then I don't follow your reasoning. We could already make even more money, even though we're making all of the money presently. What? How? Where would it come from? From who? Who's buying? Touch. Alright. Boy, they just keep coming, don't they? The turret is already out of ammo, isn't it? Like, it shot a few times at the mosquito ones and then just... it's clocked out for forever, huh? It's turning to look at things, but it ain't doing nothing. Ow. Let that be a lesson. Honestly, the game is at its worst when it's trying to be Gears of War, and I don't know, I was never one that thought Gears of War was terribly entertaining to begin with. Like, I played the first two, and it was fine. But then I never needed to play another one ever again in my life. People really do seem to love the cover-based, you know, like, stop and pop, though. I don't know. You'd figure fighting space bugs would be more dynamic than following this one around a bunch of, like, roughly chest-high walls and poking them every now and again when you can see a piece. Jim's glad he's still got it, though. That's good for Jim. He seems like a man who's lacking for self-confidence.
Let's just fix this quick and get the hell out of here.
It all strikes me as bravado, Jim. You use humor to cope with the fact that you don't really have anything to say or anything to think or anyone to be.
Main doors back online.
We fixed the main doors. I mean, they say humor comes from pain, and I'll believe that, because I don't think Jim has experienced any pain or anything ever in his life. Similarly with writer of Jim. Because this boy, he ain't funny. Okay. Okay.
It's done. The armory is open. Try not to make me regret arming you to the teeth.
Jim, I do not know what to say. You have repaid your life debt 100-fold. Please accept this inadequate gift of thanks. It is a magnetic upgrade to your grappling hook, allowing you to connect to select magnetized metal objects. It will give you access to previously inaccessible areas. I found it invaluable in my first colony explorations.
Thanks. I can see that coming in handy.
There is a magnetized plate nearby if you would like to test it out. There is even something there you might find valuable. Also, my father is in that area tending the greenhouse. He desires to speak with you.
Will do, Mira.
Okay, so I have to go there anyway. We got a grappling hook upgrade. That's cool. A little late in the game for it, I think. Seems to me that once you get the grappling hook, you should probably be allowed to just do grappling hook things wherever. I got the wrong thing tracked. But that's not what Lost Planet thinks, and it's not what a lot of game developers think. There's this habit of giving you upgrades at what is just positively a trickle that I loathe. Surprise, surprise, I'm going to point the finger at Final Fantasy XIV again, for its leveling structure, where they give you things at a glacier's speed, and then abruptly take those things away for the vast majority of the things that you're going to be experiencing. Ooh. Let's get this stuff. We'll get the audio log.
No turning back now. I drew him out, and I let him glimpse me at the relay station. If fortune favors my enterprise, his curiosity will lead him to the truth. After that, I can only hope he is the man of honor I take him for.
Alright, Jim. Very honorable, you can tell. Just looking at him. That's what Mira did, she just looked at him. Really sturdy ankles, too. Anyway, they feed you these upgrades at a glacier's pace, and by the time that you get them, you're well past the point of just doing without them. So it's a cheap reward, you know. This game does it.
You have done much good for
okay.
Mira, for my people.
We'll wait for Suichi.
But now I must ask for your indulgence. If you would aid an old man needful of closure. In the buried past, amidst the chaos of frenzy, many friends were lost. Some known, but others, fates were unaccounted for. Mysteries that haunt me. Unanswered questions, inaccessible answers. Go where I may not. Uncover what you can of 4 colonists. Set my mind at rest, and faithfully, I will share great teachings with you.
Okay, well, I mean, that was... It's just a lot of attempting to sound poetic, Suichi. You can just speak like a person, man. We presume they're dead, but I would like some closure, that's it.
Ready to return to your base, meet me outside our camp, and I will show you home.
Well, I gotta do this thing first. I gotta go and find his, Okay. So it has me revisiting some things, and there's some stuff that we can earn from that. We'll do the side quest. Why the hell not? So yeah, 14 does it. This game does it. I would even say Dead Space does it. You sit on the plasma cutter for a good long time, and there are other guns you can use, but they hand them out sparsely, and if you're playing at what I would assume is a more normal pace, it just fucking... I don't see how it doesn't drag. Yeah, it looks like we have to talk to Mira in order to get the fuck out of here anyway, so... I much prefer being able to just kind of hop in and experiment. See what does what slots where. Okay, F. Patordi. I believe that's the teacher we spoke to earlier, Francesca. Pledge of the Forgotten. Oh, this is this is their Pledge of Allegiance. On this day, we solemnly pledge... Now put your hands over your heart, everyone. We have to pledge our allegiance to EDN3. On this day, we solemnly pledge ourselves to keep faith with the giver of life, remain as one with our world, preserve against... yeah, that's preserve. Okay. Preserve against corruption of our ways and our truth, and protect and defend our brethren with eternal vigilance against all dangers, that the past may remain the past, and the future be ever brighter. Fucking what? What is this? And our truth? What if you're fucking wrong? How about that? Is anyone who says, well, this is my truth, is death afraid of just being straight wrong, and that is such a huge red flag. We've all been straight wrong in our lives. We all will be again, many times. It's okay. You just learn from it. That's it. Alright, audio log, what do you got?
It appears they have given up on finding the female pilot. A replacement has arrived, and he has already made several rescues of his crewmates. I believe he will be worth keeping an eye on. Perhaps he will respond to the clues better than she did. I wonder what became of her.
Yeah, we all wonder what became of Diaz. I can't go up there and harass that guy about it, though. Can't get up there and just, like, tickle his ear. Okay, entering the killing fields. So yeah, it looks like the dog tags or whatever the fuck that we're going to be collecting for Suichi and just kind of scattered around. Hey, do you just hang out by this all the time or what?
Sorry, it's a little cramped
in here. We're riding together.
Wasn't really meant for passengers. I'll try not to make this awkward.
Pardon me.
You comfortable?
It will suffice. Head that way, back towards the lava.
Okay.
I like your collections. I didn't realize you shared my hobby.
Oh, it's just some bric-a-brac to remind me of home.
Who is she?
Yeah, who is she?
That's my wife, Grace. Let her know I'm okay is pretty much job one right now.
She's... so beautiful. I didn't realize you had a wife.
10 years and counting. Had a baby boy a year ago. God, it's been a year.
And you left her to come here?
I came here for her. Her and Hank. Things were getting harder, and it was an opportunity I couldn't turn down.
I see.
Mira sounds disappointed. It's okay, Mira. You're gonna meet Gale, maybe. Because we still don't know exactly who Wayne's mom is. We do know that his dad had a cornapult, so...
Jim, I know you are a man of honor and great loyalty, so it pains me to ask this of you. But you must not tell the men of Nevik about us. You must not tell anyone we're here.
Are you serious? How am I supposed to make a place for your people if nobody knows you exist?
You don't know the risks I have taken just in trusting you. I can see your nature, but Nevik... If the corporation learns their lost colony had survivors, after all the pains they took to keep it secret, they would start asking questions, demanding answers. And sooner or later, they will come to take what they think is theirs.
Look, I know not everybody has the nicest things to say about Nevik, but Braddock's a good man. I trust him.
You do? And he trusts you?
I think he does.
Then, why did he lie to you about the first colony?
Well, I'm gonna have to ask him about that.
Until you know? Until you would stake the lives of your family on his loyalties? I ask only that you do not stake the lives of mine.
I mean, that's fair. Also... Lady, never assume malice where incompetence is the easier explanation. I don't think they covered it up. I think they're stupid, and they didn't tell our boy. They just figured everyone was dead and nobody needed to know you'd never find him. Good thing we sat down so close, right? Like, that's fortuitous for us. Okay, there's just a bridge. Yeah.
I've marked it on your map. Soon you'll be back in radio range. There is one last thing. Our water purifiers are almost 50 years old. If you can locate a replacement for the one I left in your cockpit, it would be another small step. That and I would be grateful.
Okay. So the side quests continue to pile up. Let's see. The security installation, Sylvia Herrera. And we'll see if we're going to be allowed to fast travel when we get within range of this. Because, I mean, fuck it, let's just knock these out, get them turned in. Not so far. What the fuck exploded?
Mirror's C4 explosives for the win.
Oh. Alright. That's not gonna destabilize the ice? I thought we already blew the thing open. I guess it was closed on both sides?
Okay, this looks familiar.
Well, yeah, we've been here. Jim. There we go.
Hi again. Kinda thought I'd have heard from you by now. Maybe you didn't get my last message? With Hank and the walking? And yes, I realize you can't answer me. Just answer me, okay?
Well, that's one message. You gonna listen to the other one, Jim? Or is that for later times? Guess that's for later times. He's got to replay that one, you know, at least 5 times before he's ready to move on to the next. You got to really stretch your mileage. They could have made traversal a little bit more interesting, right? And we still don't have fast travel? We still don't have fast travel. Looks like we gotta go ahead and chase the plot before we're allowed to run around free. And we're waiting. Just in complete silence at those loading screens. It's such a strange decision. No background music, no nothing. Just shh. Our cockpit is locked. It's for our safety. Well, then they make you walk all the way the fuck back to continue the plot here. They introduce the fast travel mechanic, then they take it away. You're forced to do something else for a little bit. And then, like, then traversal itself is not all that interesting. You walk forward. Sometimes there's bugs. Sometimes not so much. Can I damage that with this? Or is that not possible? Pretty much just the acrid, huh? Okay. Yeah, cannot travel mid-mission.
Mayday, mayday, mayday. All units, this is Coronis. We are under attack by acrid swarm. Large quantities need backup. Does anyone copy? Over.
Coronis, roger that. Flying to assist. Be there ASAP.
Holy cow, Jim, is that you? I don't know how you're alive, but we need you, brother. Hurry. Coronis out.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Okay. So that's why they have big deal plot stuff in order for me to fuck with, but I'm not entirely sure why it is that there wouldn't be space between that trigger and, like, any others to just let me do things.
flyers coming in from the interior canyon. Markham, can you assist? No can do. We've got our own problems in the rack area. Hutchings, can you assist in the deck area? Hutchings? Anybody? It's Jim. The cavalry's arrived.
Hey. No, I've been slapped.
Yes, Jim! Kick him in the ass!
Kick him in the ass. That's gotta be a translation error, right? Like they meant kick their asses. And it just did not get translated well. Anyway, this segment here is about as fun to play as it is to look at. I'm stomping in a circle and I'm pressing Z to fling my claw at them.
Peyton in the house, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, anybody? Can I get some love down here? There's like an Acrid convention gathering in my pit.
Sit tight, kid. I'll be right there.
Jim, you're back. Oh, that's awesome. Please come save my ass.
Gale, dad of Wayne. Not quite the guy that we remember. Some stuff must go down between now and then in order to have him running off to fight Green Eye. That elevator's broken. Do any of them work? Am I stuck here? That might be where I'm supposed to go.
Hey, Jim. I hate to be pushy, but there's some freaky business going on down here. Can you, like, help?
I'm gonna assume that I have to just go down this way. Because that elevator does not work. Or maybe I have to press V at it. I'm not sure yet. We'll find out. Well. It's not what I meant to grab, but it is what I did grab. Alright. So it ain't that. Yeah, maybe I just gotta press V at it. No, cannot travel mid-mission. Okay. We have to adjust our objective real quick, probably, in order to get it to tell me where it wants me to be. Oh, that elevator works. I see. So it was the secondary elevator. I just didn't know where the secondary elevator was. Ow. Hang on. There we go.
NEVIC survival tip number 2.
Oh, excellent.
Heat hazard warnings. All NEVIC approved vehicles and utility rigs are equipped with hazard sensors designed to keep you...
Well, hazard warnings. They've got hazard sensors. Those are those warnings we see pop up on our rig. Impact hazard, storm warnings, all that stuff. Perkins, what they don't tell you about the cold. Guys, hang on. Worst part about being out here? Runny noses. Next thing you know, 2 freaking icicles are hanging off your face. Then you sit next to the heater, feeling a fool until they melt, because if you just snap them off, they'll likely take your nose with them. I hate EDN3. I mean, they're not gonna take your nose with them, and frankly, your breath should be hot enough to at least bore a hole or melt the outside. So you can fix that with massaging them. I also don't think you produce quite enough liquid for it to accrete like that if you've got a runny nose due to the cold. Yeah, basically, it's supposed to be a comedy, Pete, but I've lived in cold environments for a good long time. Never seen it happen.
Well, ain't that a kick in the teeth? My favorite customer's alive. And just in time for the party. Here they come. Show me what you got. Not bad, I suppose. Okay, you better get going. I can handle myself here.
Okay. I am gonna take all of your ammunition, though. I need that. Where is he? Oh, there he is. Found him. Okay, see you later.
Eat lead, you maggots! Aha! Piton! Back from vacation, huh?
Yeah, it's a real summer at the beach.
Welcome back, boss! And this is why I never leave the hangar. I bet I can shoot more of them than you can, Piton. Nice! I bet you really missed this one projecting his insecurities. What? Talk English, boy!
There we go again with the hey, smart guy in English.
Looks like that's the last of them.
Jim, we need you back on the main deck. More bogies on approach.
Okay. Anyway, I gotta go back to the main deck now. How's this base defense feeling to you? Are you thrilled? It's real edgy your seat shit, right? And fucking someone buried their audio log.
Nevik survival tip.
Oh, good.
Don't eat the snow. On a frontier world, never ingest snow, no matter how thirsty you feel. It can cool your body's internal temperature, causing arterial constriction and organ shutdown. Don't be a test case in the discovery of new diseases. Alien parasite ingestion is also a genuine danger. Stay smart. Stay hydrated.
Yeah, you want to boil water for like 3 minutes just to be safe. It's about 1 minute at most altitudes, but if you're up high, you probably want 3 because it fucking boils at a lower temperature. You know, due to pressure differentials, so give it a moment or two. And that'll kill the vast majority of anything that's not like a fucking hyperthermophile or something similar. But usually hyperthermophiles aren't disease-causing and don't really survive in a lot of environments that, you know, other organisms can simply outbreed them. Or lost while on foot. Pulse your nav markers. Okay. Ooh, we got buzzing. Oh, they tipped over my shit. Because they knew that I would go barreling right for it. They also moved it across the hangar. Of course, you know, we got this. This is the gameplay for a moment or two. There's a lot of games that default to this for their gunplay. Like, most recently, when The Last of Us 2 did this. Can just anyone who is, you know, like, you know, I know my... Oh.
Is it true you're here at Corona's?
Yes.
Doc? What are you doing back here?
I heard the same distress call you did, no doubt. Been trying to find out what's causing this frenzy, and I think the answer's in Kenny's lab. But we need more firepower to punch through.
Roger that. I'm inbound.
Okay, anyway. We're inbound. We gotta go see what Kenny's doing in his lab. Anyway, my audience is super small. One of you who understands this, and it just has a constant line to me, fucking get at me. I don't get this gameplay as a feature of anything. I would say explain The Last of Us as far as, you know, having any kind of appeal altogether, but that's not going to be a ship that floats with me.
Nevic survival tip number 6.
Oh, good.
Never stray from your umbilical in sub-zero temperatures. The umbilical field provides supplemental power to your environment suit, increasing your level of warmth and powering tactical readouts that your suit's battery could otherwise not support. Stay smart. Stay close.
There we go. It's, you know, the original series followed probably one of the biggest pieces of shit, aside from Jim Payton here. They're kind of cut from the same cloth now that I think about it, aren't they? Just a good red-blooded working man who's dumb as a fucking stick and thinks that's everyone else's responsibility to pick up after. We got another audio log.
Nevic survival tip number 4. Always keep your socks dry while working in extreme frigid conditions.
It's true, you do want dry socks.
Is your greatest enemy, so heat retention and moisture management are key to your survival. Avoid submersion at all costs, and keep a backup pair in your emergency kit. Stay dry. Stay alive.
Yeah, you do want dry socks. It's hypothermia and frostbite affect the extremities the most, and the most quickly. Anyway, so yeah, the first game, awful lead. Second game gets what's coming to him at the hands of the only likable character in the entire fucking series, and the internet goes wild because, you know, she lifts a weight sometimes, and also beamed their fucking poster boy, like that's a bad thing.
Man, they are relentless. When is this gonna stop?
Man, do you think Crazy Neil made it?
James, get your ass in gear. We need you at the lab.
The Witch thinks Crazy Neil's dead. I like to believe that he's off somewhere thinking about penguins, or whatever the fuck the only joke he had was. Yeah, it was, wasn't it? She just confirmed that the joke was fucking penguins, and that's it. That's what we got. We did not try harder. Okay. You sneaking? Who did you think it was? Oh, is it because of that? Get out of here. Go on. Okay. Well, die there. I tried.
This facility is an emergency lockdown.
Okay. It's gonna be one of those spots, is it?
Elevator lockdown has been bypassed.
Oh, we just push the button and it's like, ah, never mind. Okay. Open. Are you thrilled? There's gonna be little ones that, yeah, and do that and skitter under it.
Diverting auxiliary power to hydraulics. System engaged.
We shot enough of them.
Warning. Intrusion detected.
Kenny, you dead?
Protocols.
You dead in here? You got Crazy Neil with you? No response. It's not looking good. Yeah. Okay. I guess you could just, like, hop over me then. That works. Alright, alright, alright. I get the picture. I was too aggressive. Now. It's time to press F. Yeah, they're not that strong if you can just do that with them, right? That's just not that physically impressive. All right. So how did they break open the steel? Oh, there you are. Cool. We've done it. You feel accomplished?
Please stand in the scanning zone to begin decontamination procedure. Initiating diagnostics.
Okay, decontamination in progress. You know how this is. We'll see if they jump in and yeah, there we go. See, the decontamination was in progress.
Warning. Foreign organism detected. Performing containment analysis. Your cooperation is appreciated. Please remember to report any indigenous life forms within the station to the appropriate zone manager. Have a good day.
Bye.
James, over here!
Hey. Oh, there's Crazy Neil. See?
Genius built some kind of experimental machine that's drawing the Acrid here and agitating them more than usual.
Why would
so it's
something to cause this?
You're asking the wrong scientist. See the quarantine room in the center of the lab? Right through the glass there? You blast your way in and put a stop to this mess. We'll keep them off your tail.
So it's the Zerg psi emitter. That's what we've got going on here. I mean, it's making a noise that irritates me. I'm feeling irate. Is this where I'm... Okay, no, it just didn't open before. Got it.
Jim! Hey. Good heavens! How long have you been not dead? Oh, you're just in time to witness my breakthrough. Isn't this spectacular? Look at them all.
Okay. Am I going this way or some other way? I'm going some other way. Hey, fam. Okay, but I gotta... No? That's not cover?
This is Campbell at Delta Station. We can't hold out much longer up here.
Jim.
Immediate assistance.
I just...
Jim was on his way to stop the cause of all this. Jim, do you copy?
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm working on it, guys.
Yeah. Yeah, he copies. There we go. There we go. So something I'm unclear about is Kenny here working on some kind of fucking, like, prototype or notes? Because the same thing happened to the other base. Alright. Oh, yeah, sure. Now we gotta crawl over. No? I don't have anything else to do here. Oh, I just need to shoot it more.
Unauthorized use of medic equipment must be reported to the appropriate sector manager.
If that's all I have to do in there, just make me shoot it once. It doesn't heighten the drama, you're just wasting my time. Oh, was there bits to pick up? No, it was just a different kind of light. Now this one's still freaking the fuck out in there. Maybe it's just got the zoomies. Okay. Well, all the glass is broken.
Destroying the prototype was quite unnecessary. I'm sure I only needed to adjust the frequency.
Yeah, sorry for the inconvenience. Hope saving your life didn't put you out.
Oh no, I forgive you. I know carnage and mayhem is part of your nature, and without it, you just wouldn't be you. Or nearly as useful to me.
You made a device that can drive the Acrid crazy.
There he is. He's back.
Experiments to know for sure. Establishing a baseline of sanity for these creatures might be prohibitive of itself. Nevertheless, I'm glad the base was able to witness my breakthrough.
What, you telling me you did this on purpose?
No, not at all. But the experiment is still a resounding success. The Acrid were influenced. Don't you see? I figured out how they communicate, and I've replicated it. In the course of dissecting many varieties of Acrid, I found a receptor that they all...
Okay, so they...
You might understand it as sort of a biological radio...
Yeah, they communicate... It's not a biological radio receiver? What the fuck are you talking about? That was clearly sound. Like, it's a noise they're making. It's just on a higher frequency than maybe anything else we communicate with. Hey, Roman.
James, a moment. Listen, I don't want to cause a general panic or anything, but just glancing at Coronis while heading in, she's in bad shape. The way the storms are increasing in intensity, I'm concerned it's only a matter of time until the structural integrity is compromised.
I don't know, Doc. Seems like a pretty good reason to panic. You got any suggestions?
I may. There are some tests I'd like to run, but I'd need your help. Wait for my call and we'll chat properly. In the meantime, I'm sure Braddock wants to catch up with you.
Okay, well, we're being told that we'll end up talking to Braddock soon. Me, I'm just looking for the next spot where it saves.
The Acrid are retreating. Looks like Delta Station's in the clear.
The swarm is subsiding in the hangar as well. Whatever you did seemed to work, Jim. We're ever thankful.
I'm happy to help. Just glad to be back home.
You'd think after any one of these event triggers it would just give me a little save icon, but no. But no, I clipped my head through the door there. I'd make a joke about how empty-headed Jim is and how that makes sense, but it's low-hanging fruit. Still no dice, still no dice. Maybe once we exit through here? Yeah, probably.
Science is not an exact science. At its best, science is chaotic and unpredictable. Often produces a foul odor that you cannot scrub from your fingers. Nature has bottomless mysteries and contradictions, a fanfare of ironies and impossibilities. Male seahorses bearing litters. Frogs consuming their own offspring. Entire population infused with its planet's lifeblood. I've observed these things with my own eyes. I've carved the verities of truth from them with my bare hands. Any answer, and I do mean any answer, can be dissected into being. Any secret can be cut open when the scalpel is sharp enough. This is science, right? 80% patience and 20% is cutting things open. Until next time, Mother.
Okay, well there's a save icon. We're supposed to be creeped out by that. For my mileage, he's just incorrect. Science is fucking around and finding out. That's it. That's all it is. Let's send you here. Oh, good. Microsoft News has things for me. Excellent. Good timing for that Microsoft News. I did need that chime. Anyway. So yeah, another chapter with Jim. We've made friends with the locals, and I guess the first couple of generations of what would be the indigenous people of EDN3. Not counting the Acrid, which appear to communicate via just noises. You know, I'm not sure why we didn't clock that before with all of our advanced scanners and observational equipment. Otherwise, gameplay-wise, it's sort of more of the same, isn't it? Which is okay. I believe we're moving towards the series tipping point, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. In the meantime, you know, leave you to wander alone for a bit. All right, see ya.